Hi and welcome to Two Wheels Better from Capesthorne Hall in Cheshire. A very grand place this, but we're not here to look at stately homes. We're at the National Association of Bikers with a Disability rally, and we'll be seeing them in a few minutes and finding out what this is all about. You've got to admire guys who get back on a bike after a serious mishap. I mean, you and I had a few knocks and bruises, as it were, but losing arms, limbs, it's a sort of a solitary experience.
Well, it's great, you know. I mean, I've seen some of the bikes. We've not looked closely yet, but they've got levers and things all over, so well modified, and they're still. I mean, they're still accepted in the bike world. They're not sort of removed from the bike world. They're still part of it, very much part of it, you know.
Well, I think the best thing is to say we had a quick look round, but if we go and have a word with one or two guys, see what it's all about, see what makes it tick.
Exactly, and I can smell the bacon. Or the campfires over there, so...
You and your bloody stomach.
I'm off for a bacon butty.
See you soon. Well, I've got with me Rick Hulse. He's the main man. He's the chairman of NABD. NABD is a strange world, or a strange word rather, I should say, NABD. But National Association of Bikers with a Disability, and you're the founder?
No, I'm not actually the founder. I came into it about 3 months after it was started. The original founder, as the association got bigger, found it sort of too much pressure on him, and I got volunteered to take over, sort of thing, about 5.5 years ago.
So you were an able biker at the time then?
I was, yeah. Like I say, for the first 3 months of it, I was involved in a minor way, and after I got smashed up while I was laying in hospital, I thought it's the sort of thing that a lot of people are going to need. At the time I didn't know if I was going to lose my leg or what, so when I come out I decided I was going to get stuck in a bit more.
So you've got a hell of a following and a membership now. What's membership running at? Close on 2,000, is it? Or?
Yeah, we're just slightly under 1,700 at the moment. We'll have gone over the 2,000 by the end of this summer, without a doubt. Disabled bikers, it's getting more and more widely known now. Disabled bikers can ride in their own right and they don't have to be somebody's passenger, and that's why the membership's grown so fast.
So have you come on a bike today?
No, I've come in a 7.5 tonne full of beer.
Now, it's all about getting people back on bikes at the NABD. Stuart Kershaw, you have a disablement, an arm.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah. I've actually got what they call a brachial plexus injury, which is, I haven't got a lot of use in my right arm. As it is, I've got about 45% use in it. So what I've had to have done is to change all the controls from the right onto the left. I.e. normally the throttle is on the right, which is now on the left here, which obviously, as you can see, twists. The top one here is the front brake, and the bottom one is the clutch. It does probably look a little bit complicated to use, but actually it is quite simple. I mean, all right, we can't really sort of show you on film, but i.e. setting off just like so, yeah, riding along.
So that's your clutch there, yeah.
Clutch,
so you've got to twist that and let the clutch out at the same time.
Yeah, at the same time, like that, yeah. And i.e. if I'm in traffic and need to stop, I can also pull the clutch in and at the same time use the front brake.
You must have very good muscles in them fingers now, Stu.
Well, it's reasonably strong, yeah. But with it being a disc front brake, it is quite a good brake. Right. So you don't need to put too much effort into it, really.
And that's a pretty standard modification, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's absolutely nothing over here at all.
Nothing at all, apart from the light switch. Yeah. And I've got me light. I've got my high and low beam here, my indicators and my horn, and the start buttons here.
Excellent. There you go. So there's no excuse for getting back on your bike.
That's right. No problem. Go for it. Just do it.
There you are.
Well, I've got with me Chris Ireland of Desperate Dan. He's got a little badge on here which says Dan Dare, which for the The younger ones of you might not know, but he was a comic character. But you're not a comic character, are you?
Sometimes, with what we build.
Now, I understand you're able-bodied, but I'm not sure about the mine, because this is your trike, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah.
Tell me about it. It looks an absolutely mega machine.
It's a 350 SE Mercedes V8 double overhead cam, fuel injected, nitrous oxide injection, Jaguar rear suspension, narrowed 18 inches, and we've got the widest street legal tyres in the world on it.
Well, I saw these things. What are they? Are they rain tyres off an F1 car, or just what are they?
No, these are road legal tyres, specially made for funny cars.
Yeah,
And we had
extremely funny.
very funny, yeah. And we had the wheels made in the States as well. Back wheels and tyres, £2,000.
God, and how long are those going to last you? A long time.
I hope so, yeah. I don't want to replace them.
So, tell us just what you have got here. I mean, you said the engine here, but I mean, have you made this completely, stem to stone?
Every single bit of it, all made in-house in our workshops. But I mean, the reason we run Desperate Dan's is to make enough money to build these for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, we're not breadheads, we're not interested in making a fortune, we just want trikes, and the bigger the better.
And this is this how you started doing this work for disabled bikers?
We got in it by mistake. We got partying with a bloke in a wheelchair. Everybody else was ignoring him, so we went and partied with him, got really drunk, and then he said, "I'll have a trike off you," and we had to work out the adaptions, and it went on word of mouth from there, until it's got crazy now. It's so busy, but it's just a pleasure doing it. You know, if we could do it for nothing, we would do.
And so you must have built up a hell of a lot of expertise. So it doesn't matter what the disability these days, I presume.
No, we built one trike for a bloke with no legs. We built a trike for a chap that was paralysed from the neck down. He couldn't ride it, but he could sit on it, and his mate drove him round.
Yeah.
And it's just a pleasure getting these blokes back on the road. Seeing the faces when they collect them is the payment.
What would you say was the most sort of interesting or innovative trike, other than your own, that you've done? Anything that you're particularly proud of?
Oh, most of them.
Yeah.
I mean, everything that goes out the workshop we're proud of. And we try and, even if a bloke's only got £1,000 to spend, we're still proud of what goes out. We put our best into it.
Yeah. So the front suspension looks very substantial. I mean, you got an engineering background anyway, or is this trial and error stuff?
Self-taught. My son made the front end.
Yeah.
My oldest son works for me.
And it's all worse, and you don't have any problem MOTing and getting roadworthiness and all the rest of it?
None at all. I mean, if we got a motto, it'd be over-engineer, and we always over-engineer.
Well, I must say, it looks like it. The chassis looks as though it's scaffold tube. I'm not being disrespectful.
Oil rig tube.
Yeah.
It's 2-inch seamless.
Even better. And what sort of performance do you get from this thing? I mean, you can actually wheelie this, I presume, stand it on its back.
Too heavy to wheelie, but if we could pull 8,000 RPM, you got 267 miles an hour.
But you're not going to do that, are you?
No, I've done 160, and that's enough.
Have you?
Yeah.
I have with me Mike Harper. He's got rather a snazzy outfit here. It's not an AA outfit, it's an AA yellow, the share chair. Mike, very nice little outfit. What's this one all about?
Well, it's a sidecar that allows disabled people to ride motorcycles, basically, in as far as one of the problems I have as a paraplegic as a result of a motorcycle accident is that I unfortunately have to take my wheelchair everywhere with me. And one of the things that inspired me to develop the share chair was independence. I wanted to be independent and included in motorcycling. And so I sat down quite a few years ago, talking to a lot of people to prepare what I thought would be a credible unit to put into the marketplace for disabled people.
So what actually happens then?
Okay, so we need to rear access the back end of the sidecar, and just like a child's transformer, it all comes apart. Just watch me.
Okay.
Even Lazy Man's electrics open the ramps.
Why not?
And I quite haven't got over the principle of landing the ramp onto grass. It is designed for road use, and sometimes they get a little bit snagged, but with a few helping hands, I'm not alien to help.
Yeah.
The front end, you need to expose all the elements to allow you to work freely to transfer over onto your motorcycle.
Well, if you hang on to the mic, Dick, I'll kick the bottom end out then.
Okay, no trouble. Okay. That's it.
Yeah, I can see what happens because that ramp will stick into the ground, whereas on tarmac it'll just roll.
It is honestly designed for road use, and what we've done because this was first at the Mow, we've actually incorporated a set of wheels in each of the ramps that are like roller bearing, so they sit down. So it's even as you build each one, you're looking at making it better. And I think maybe in a couple of years' time it even might be different to this, but the basic shape is there and the principle.
Okay, well we'll see how you now roll aboard.
Okay, I'll have a go. So we shut the ramps behind us.
You haven't got an automated umbrella, have you? Because it's just starting to rain.
Motorcyclists get wet. You know, if you're worrying about the rain, drive cars.
Well said.
It's a bit easier to work with bare hands, but in this rain. Remove the side of my chair and have a go at like getting on it, hopefully. And it's much easier when you're wearing motorcycle gear because you can hold on to your boots and not worry about falling off it. I need to
I bet you draw a few crowds, don't you, when you're doing this?
But one of the things that disabled people have problems with is they have inhibition. Many disabled people have inhibitions about, having to make effort, and I think that may be, to their detriment, because if you make effort, if you're prepared to make effort, you succeed. And basically, I'm on a Honda 750, which is an American import, which will be in August, one of the very latest BMW R1100 RT, which I've ordered.
And very nice too, and so this is it, and there's a happy man.
And away to go, key in. A bit cold, but what I'd give for that 20 years ago.
Well, as you can see, we've got a real tented village here. I only wish Paul was here with me. I just haven't seen...
I am here.
Oh,
I am here.
My man, what are you doing? What's this alcohol?
It's...
Drinking on the job?
No, not quite. This is the National Alcoholics... But what was it I said before?
No, you still haven't got it right. It's the National Association for Bikers with a Disability.
That's it.
Repeat after me.
And a great event it is. A smashing event.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, terrific atmosphere, a free and easy atmosphere.
Well, it's the same as any bike rally. The people are friendly. You're all bikers together. It doesn't matter what you ride. Everybody mucks in, and it's just great fun.
Did you actually buy that, or was that given to you? Gotcha, haven't I?
I'll be back later.
I knew I shouldn't have brought him.
On our last visit to the laser factory, we looked at helmet production. Now let's take a look at the rigorous testing procedures. Well, it's down to serious business now. We like to have a bit of fun when we're out and about, but this is serious stuff. This is probably life or death, this end, isn't it? This is where the helmets are tested.
This is where it all gets very serious indeed, yeah. This is the test rig where we can test to many different standards throughout the world. Of course, we're here representing British Standards particular test, whereby a head form is closely representative of the actual head in terms of its dissipation of shock energy to the brain, is placed inside a helmet and will be then taken up to a height of approximately 3 meters and dropped at around about 24 miles an hour for the Type A impact.
Right, I mean, my initial reaction to that is probably the same as everybody else's. Well, 24 mile an hour, I'm going to be doing a lot quicker than that when I come off my bike.
Absolutely, yeah.
So.
We do understand that, and of course it's a very common misconception that people were going to be falling off at 60, 70 miles an hour, but it's not a sudden stop impact, hopefully.
Right.
It's generally considered throughout the academics that 30 miles an hour would be perhaps the maximum speed at which your head could withstand a sudden stop. So
Right.
it's not something that we would like to
yeah.
pursue.
So this is 20 odd miles an hour, but that's banged down to a stop, isn't it?
Exactly.
And you've got different things on there. That,
Yeah.
what do they? They're different types of impacts.
Different types of impact, trying to represent many different varieties of surface on which you possibly could come into contact. This is the hemispherical dome, which will be representing curbs, etc., or maybe some sort of sharp cornered edge of a building. There's also this type of device, which is the anvil, again representing...
Particularly nasty, that one.
It is, and it focuses the actual point of impact into a very small area of the helmet, so the helmet really has to be up to its highest specification to pass this test.
So Andy, we've got two halves of two different helmets actually, but showing pretty frightening results, I would think.
Yeah, now this shell is representing the helmet prior to an impact test. As you can see, the outer shell there is made from the iMac material with the EPS liner, the expanded polystyrene, and the cloth interior trim there. That represents, as I said, the helmet prior to an impact. If we then go to look at this model...
It's a perfect fit that all the way around, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Now, as you can see now by this model, we've actually impacted this helmet, and the EPS liner has, in fact, substantially reduced in thickness. This is because the outer shell has flexed, has absorbed and dissipated the shock over a large area, but beware, folks, on the exterior of the helmet, there is no visible area of damage.
There isn't
Very
a mark
little.
on. There's hardly a mark on that, and for something to do that much damage to the inside, it's given a hell of a
so
crack.
the point to beware of is that should there be a requirement of this EPS liner to dissipate shock to the same extent, again, it's just not going to be able to do it. So the word is, if you've had an accident, replace the helmet.
Right, and another good thing is don't buy a second-hand helmet because you never know what's happened here. Can you believe that? I mean, look, I've just took this helmet off that test bed and, well, I'm rooting to find the actual point of impact. I mean, it's there somewhere, isn't it? And that's had two tests because I didn't believe the first one. I thought, no, it can't be possible. And it even went up higher the second time. But, I mean, that's astonishing. I've dropped helmets off fridge freezers at home and had marks in them and chips in them and things, and that's incredible, that. But, I mean, we don't just look at it and say, oh, yeah, it's passed. We could cut it open, I suppose, but all the results come up here, don't they, on this fancy little machine here? So what does that tell us, the machine?
That's right, Paul. Well, on the left-hand side is the scale which details the amount of G-force transmitted to the brain or to the entire inside of your head, and on the bottom scale is the milliseconds, the amount of time with which that G-force is transmitted. It goes up to 300 G, which is in fact the BSI test. And from our first result, we scored 144. And then
I didn't believe that.
No, you didn't. Of course, 300 G is the pass rate, and we scored 144.
So less than half of what it needs. It's more than twice as good as it needs to be, really, I suppose.
Well, the second test of BSI within the same parameters is it's actually taken up to a slightly lower height, simulating a slightly slower secondary impact speed. But we took it back up to the first impact speed again, and the resultant score is 196, as shown here.
That's brilliant, that. Amazing. Incredible. So there you have it, in a nutshell. Well, if you thought that last test looked pretty serious stuff, and indeed it was, this one here behind me is just as serious. There's a hell of a weight on here. What, just to test a strap, is it?
Well, yes, it's just testing the strap. What you've got here is 10 kilograms of weight dropping at a height of 75 centimetres. Its purpose is to test the dynamic elongation and the permanent elongation of the strap in the event of an accident, and also the ability of the buckle to maintain its security. Now, if you think that's excessive, the buckle itself is actually opened and closed in both saltwater conditioning and under normal conditions over 5,000 times to maintain that the buckle will in fact work during the course of its helmet's life.
And the strap, I mean, it will elongate, won't it? Then obviously there is a tolerance that has to be within, you know, I mean, it will go a little bit.
The elongation will be a maximum of 2 millimetres.
Well, that's how good a helmet needs to be to meet BSI approval. But whilst all of this was going on, Wayne was up to his usual tricks.
Well, if you think that's excessive, the buckle itself is open and closed. You shouldn't have made me laugh.
So Andy, I mean, we've seen everything from a shell being painted to having the decals on, polished up, all the bits on it, goes in a box, finishes up on the shelf. But who decides what helmets you're going to make in the future, or the different models? Because I mean, who designs them?
Well, we have both a team of internal and externally based designers who come up with propositions for designs on both existing models and future developments, which of course will be remaining secret for the purposes of this film.
Well, you know, this here is the R&D, isn't it? Research and development.
Yeah, absolutely.
So is there any chance of just having a quick peek in there with the old camera?
I'd love to, Paul, but let me assure you, even I had to sign the Official Secrets Act, Belgian version, of course.
So, right, okay. All right, well, I'll let you off. So where does it start? Does it start off with, what, a sketch on a pad? Or is
Pretty
it...
much so. Someone will come up with an idea, and then we'll come up with maybe then an assortment of CAD-CAM produced images, which we can look at. And before we go to three-dimensional samples, we will look at the two-dimensional pictures and select items for further development.
Right, I see. Excellent. Right. So, I mean, what's this is? I know this is the... we've seen this one, haven't we?
Yeah, this is some pre-production sample colour options on the Falcon RX.
Right. And you've not got anything from the future that you can show us at all?
It's all behind
There's no
locked
chance?
doors.
Not even for a nice bottle of Belgian beer?
Not even for you guys. It's totally off limits.
Is it?
All right, lads.
There.
What you got?
Where have you been?
In there with smashing people.
You're not allowed.
Very helpful.
Out of bounds, that is.
Oh, it's the research and development place. It's fantastic. Oh, you won't be able to go in and film or anything. But I mean, I've gone in because it's like, it's not what you know. It's like who you know.
This is mine.
It's not been. It's one of them that's been tested, isn't it? And
No,
just thrown away.
never been dropped.
'Cause that was impressive. The test.
Oh, that brilliant. I mean, that shows that these really are twice as good as they need to be.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
well, anyway, let me just get back to this before we don't want to miss off the point. What do you mean this is yours?
It's a gift.
So like,
To
where's
me.
mine?
Well, I've got yours.
Oh,
I mean,
cheers, eh?
You know, they can make helmets to fit any head. They come in all sizes.
Excellent. Made to
So,
measure.
There we go.
And like, where am I supposed to put that?
Don't start that now.